Now, as one of my favorite bands once sang, we don't need no education, we don't need no thought control. So I think that we don't need no thought control, but yes, we need education. So hi all, I'm Jihan, and today I'm going to be speaking, or rather sharing my views on the greatest controversial debates of this time, that is online schooling. This year, the starting of this year and the last part of the last year, I had planned such great things. India had planned such great things. Thought I'd improve my grades and my overall sports marks. And India thought about improving the economy and the culture of the country. But now, due to COVID, none of this could happen. But as my grandfather usually says, just move on in life. So I did. I moved on from Bombay to Pune. Thought that this lockdown could be the worst part of my life. I had no expectations, but then the online classes came, which actually made me interact with myself and my surroundings in Pune a lot more. We could not explore, but the online classes provided such a platform that I explored the city, and outside it was just like going on a journey just outside your house, but while staying in your house. So today I'm gonna be debunking some myths which show the disadvantages of online classes. So I've got 7 myths with me. The first one is online classes aren't interactive. Well, this completely depends on the teachers as well as the students. So I'll just start by giving you my school's example. So the teachers in my school are so peculiar about teaching us that they actually want us to switch on our videos and interact with them more and more, because nobody would like actually just recording an audio. It's like recording an audio for them. So the students in turn, to be very honest, I don't turn on my camera, but I still interact. But rest of my friends actually switch on the cameras, and the teachers actually want to see gesticulations about the topic in which we are discussing. So the studies in my school is just not what's in the book, but it's also outside the book, outside the box. We all think like that. The students share a lot of facts and interesting stuff with the teachers, and the teachers in return teaches things which are actually not there in the book. So this becomes a two-way conversation and makes stuff even more interesting. I'm sure that this would be the scenario with most of the other schools in India. So there's it. Now I strongly feel that online classes provide a great platform for interaction, but as I said, that it also depends on the students as well as the teachers. Now, today I have a guest who is coming in this video. So it's my brother Shashank. He is also going to be sharing his views. He is quite good in athletics as well as in studies, just like me. He has been quite a good brother. And there you go, Shashank.
Thank you, Jihan, for giving me an opportunity to speak. Review for this question is that online classes aren't interactive, as we are not able to meet, talk with our friends, and we can just talk with our teachers for just a period of 2 to 3 minutes. And my interaction with my teacher is good, and they teach us. They give our answers very nicely, so that's good.
Classes are bad for the eyes. This has to be the lamest one. Just a minute. This has to be the lamest one, I'm sure. The reason why I'm telling this is because without the online classes in the lockdown, children were actually spending 5 to 6 hours on devices. Now this was actually just substituted by online classes, which actually provided a good and productive way to actually improve your knowledge about things. Now nobody is actually asking the children to actually stare at the screen, but they can actually just keep their eyes away from the screen and just listen to the audio. So that also helps, and thus I would like to rest my case over here. Now Shashank, please take over the mic.
I don't think my eyes get strained, because it's like we have 2 to 3 hours break in between each and every class, and we have only 2 hours of our classes. So it goes like 9 to 9:40, then 2 to 3 hours break, then 12 o'clock to 12:40, then again 2 hours break and 2 to 3 hours break, and again 3:10 to 3:30 to 4:10, and that was 3:30 to 4:10 is our last class of the day, and it again goes on the next day. So my eyes don't get strained because we can have breaks in between the class.
And the next myth is it is easier to cheat in the online classes and discipline is not maintained. For the first point, I would just like to tell you that it doesn't matter to the cheaters whether it's online or offline. And for the discipline part, I would like to tell you being disciplined on the online platform means switching on your video, being nice and communicative to your teachers. And the third point is to complete your classwork as well as your homework regularly. So I do the second and third point well, but in the first point I actually don't turn on my camera and don't even wear my school uniform, so I can actually improve myself in this field. Now it is not only the responsibility of the students but also of the parents to make sure that the students are honest as well as disciplined. The next myth is classes are not worth the fees. This is again a very popular myth and I would like to debunk it as soon as possible. Yeah. So first of all, I know that many people are having financial problems to cope up with the school fees as well as the household charges. So over here the school can reduce some fees, not the whole. The fees can be rationalized to actually help the parents. Now if you look at the other side of the same topic, the teachers and as well as the school management is also having problem to stand up to keep itself open. So in this way, if we follow the method I told about the school fees being rationalized, it's a profit for both the school as well as the parents. And I would like to close my case over here.
Online classes are I don't feel that they are worth sometimes, because you cannot meet your friends. You have to sit alone in a room and do the classes, and it's like you cannot do games and fun activities like art and music. And I hope that our school starts as soon as possible.
The next myth is that there aren't any co-curricular activities in these online sessions. Well, this again depends on the school. Now, I would like to give you the example of my school once again. So in my school, we actually enjoy quite a lot because it's not only studies but also co-curricular activities. The school enables us to participate in debate competitions, art competitions, and it's super fun. We always get an experience. We have got school cinema once every 2 weeks. Like we get to watch a nice short sweet movie which actually gives us a life lesson. And then and who said PT wasn't possible? Well, in my school, it surely is. We get to exercise and that actually refreshes us from our normal routine. Now, last but not the least, we even have got art classes. So in these art classes, we actually learn different painting techniques. So this is the illusion art that I've made. This is only made with a marker. So if you look it in this way, I'll just keep it like this, you'll feel like it's infinite, and you can see that black spot over here. So this shows that it's going inside. Now the second drawing I've made is the second best drawing. Just show you my best ones is this. So this is a painting and this gives you the 3D effect which makes it quite fun to watch. Masterpiece. Now just before proceeding, if you would like to take a small break, just watch out for the funny video of mine. So here it is. So this video actually tells my experience on in an airport security check-in. I was quite impatient at that time. Now I like to combine myth 6 as well as myth 7. So myth 6 is children do not enjoy, and myth 7 is teachers do not teach well. Now in myth number 6, this myth should only be defined by the child himself and not by the adults or the parents. The reason being this is because a child only know he he or she only knows what is good for themselves. But often our parents are right in these situations. But nowadays, I think that adults are having a few stereotypes, not all, exceptions, are having the stereotypes about the child as well as the classes, that they aren't great, they aren't in an organized manner and stuff. Well, as I said, the interest should only be defined by the child. For example, if a child loves a specific subject, he's sure to enjoy it and approach it more and more. But if a child does not enjoy a subject, he is sure to avoid it in all possible manners and love the stereotypes that are being given. Thus, I would like to conclude by saying that this completely depends on the child. Now on this point, I'd just like to say it has been quite a difficult journey for the teachers, just as it has been for ourselves. Now just a minute, just before proceeding, if you feel quite hungry and still want to watch the rest of my video, you can make a quick potato tapas. Here's the link. It's quite interesting and it's gonna be quite delicious. Now let's go. As I was telling you, it's been quite a difficult journey for the teachers as well as the students. They are having difficulties in the terms of teaching on this online platform, getting used to all of this, coping up with the latest tech. And yet I still don't understand once again that why do people have to question them. According to me, the teachers are working as hard as they can. They are devoting their family time just for us. And you must be thinking, why is the Jihan just making this statement? Well, believe me, my mother is a teacher. I've seen her working overtime. And we work on Teams. So Teams is a very varied platform and it's quite difficult to keep a track of all of the assignments, the tests, all whatever we are submitting. And it's not only a set of 30 children, but a set of more than 300 children. So you must be understanding now. And end of the day, I would like to salute them, hats off to them. I think that those also should come in the category of COVID warriors.
For this last question, this is a very hard question you have asked me. So I think some teachers teach well and take length, make the chapter more interesting by explaining and giving details about more details about the chapter. So my SS teacher, like my history teacher, she, if one lesson is there, she will the lesson will last for 5 to 6 periods, and after that one period is for question answers marking and all that. And my physics sir, he just takes three periods to complete the whole chapter with answers, and it is like 15 pages chapters we have. So in 2 chapters he will complete the whole thorough explanation, and in the last period he will complete the whole answers marking. So some teachers teach well, some teachers don't. Thank you Jihan for making me the part of this video. We will surely meet soon in another video. Bye friends.
Thus, I would like to conclude by stating that online classes should be persisted with the full support of children, teachers as well as the school management. Now, my brother Shashank gave his great contribution in this video. Thanks a lot Shashank. And if anybody else would also like to be a part of my video, be featured in my videos, they can just write it down in the comments below and I'll surely check it out. Thirdly, you should also write the feedback that you're giving, because it's quite precious to me as it is a part of my online learning. See you soon.